Good morning, everyone. Hope you had enjoyed your breakfast today. Okay, so today my presentation is about the centralized management system using MikroTik Capsman version 2. I'm Shakil Khan. I belongs to Pakistan. My education is I'm an electronic engineer actually, and my position in my company as a technical product manager. My native language is Urdu, so please ignore me if I made any mistake in my English. I have done some certifications, and recently I have done MTCNA as a trainer. So, about my company, we started in 2003. We are doing a lot of wireless products and network products in our country. And we are master distributor for several products, and MikroTik is one of them. We deals also in IT managed services, trainings, securities, and we also do electrical and instrumentation using IP-based electrical products. So my presentation objective is mostly from the wireless side. So I would like to start from what is actually wireless and what are their modes, their applications actually, where we are using wireless mostly, what is centralized management, and what is actually MikroTik Capsman. So let's start from our first side. Actually, there are the main mode of wireless which mostly using in applications is point-to-point and point-to-multipoint. Point-to-point used in long-distance links, and if we need a very high throughput in a long distance or a short distance, and the area where is a lot of interference, so we always prefer point-to-point links. Point-to-multipoint links is used mostly in the WISP application where the higher throughput is not required, and we can share our link with lower throughput, but it can be cheap in deployment comparative to the point-to-point links. So today my main focus is on centralized management wireless network, which is used for roaming of the users or stations which used to roam around the different places, but it is connected with the main manager. So it is mostly using nowadays in many applications because it is highly manageable. There are some advantages and disadvantages of wireless network. In advantages, if we discuss that it can be installed very quickly, and the deployment you can make with a very less peoples, and the cost is very quite low. And if we make any link or something like this, so its availability is quite high. If we compare with fiber or something like this, if it has been cut down or something happens, so we need a big team and big equipments and excavator, etc. Yes, there is some limitations according to the bandwidth or throughput. And also if is there any ISM regulations in your country, so definitely there is some advantage. You can be have some limitations about the link throughput. So nowadays, which I know the mostly application of the wireless networks is wireless ISPs, wireless CCTV systems nowadays deploying because it is very quick, and before you have to invest a big money in network infrastructure to lay down the cables and etc. But when the IP-based cameras come and you start to use the wireless CCTV system, you can deploy city-to-city system. Wireless VoIP, also a big application nowadays. You can you can deploy your telephone lines with 10, 20 or whatever links very quickly by using wireless links. Wireless advertisement, if you go in malls, hotels, and airports, you can see latest signage, digital signage, which is also connected through a wireless system, and whatever people wants to, or the company wants to do advertise, they just make a one click and it advertise very quickly. So there are a lot of wireless signage stations. Wireless SCADA, which I will discuss with my success story. It is something which people does not know. It is related to the electronics and electric system, and it is supervisory control and data acquisition by using the wireless networks. Wireless data networks is very common, so I hope everyone know about it. Okay, so why we actually need the centralized managed system? As I mentioned, it's very high availability of network. You can manage your system from a single window. It's like a one-click management. And whatever the statics, that who is connected, who is not connected, who is getting how much signals, how many signals. So you can see from a single screen. So mostly the application of centralized management system is in hospitals, universities, industries, malls and cafes, home apartments, and also at the ports of the container terminals mostly. Okay. So before we don't have any managed or centralized management system, what problems we were facing? In the conventional stages, if there is any apartment, what we have to do, we have to install each AP step by step, and we have to configure it individually, which takes a lot of time. And if we want to deploy any policy, any security, we have to do every time individually on a system. So the solution, MikroTik come up with the solution, and they have introduced a very powerful package with the CAPS manager. It has fixed most of the problems. Means if you want to deploy any centralized managed system, you want to deploy a wireless system in your building or apartment, you can do it very quickly with some basic configurations. So in this, you can see, I explain this to you. Like in this apartment, if you have a lot of APs, like 1, 2, 3 on each floor, so once, if the conventional system, you have to configure each AP, and whenever you want to change the security or password, you have to go to each AP by IP address or whatever, or physically, and then you can only be able to change its SSIDs and etc. But after you have a control CAPS manager, what you can do, you can just deploy your APs, and you have to only first time configure for the CAP, that who is your CAPS manager, and after that you have nothing to do, which I will explain it later further in detail. So this is one of our success story which we have deployed in a port in Pakistan. This is actually a fertilizer and grain terminal, which is around 400 meters of jetty. So what the problem engineers were facing, they have some electronic system which they have to modify day by day. And to modify, sometimes they have to go to their control rooms, and sometimes they have to go to their machines. So we have used here MikroTik point-to-point links with CAPS manager. So the problem was that they were facing, there are three machines. Like this is unloader, which unload the grain to the silos. So it roams on a 300 meters of quay, this and this another machine. So whenever this roams, and engineers need to have a connectivity, Before they were always disconnect, and they are unable to modify their programs whenever they required. So what we did there, we installed one controller here, which is a CAPS manager, and we deployed a wireless Omnitic based system here, and also on the machines to make the connectivity while they are roaming. And here we install the CAP APs on the machines also. So whenever engineer needs to modify their programs, or they need the information of the machine to the control room, so they can have any time by using the SCADA system. Same like they have like machines which are roaming all the time, like loaders, shovels, excavators. What they used to, they require whenever their machine roams, and actually they have to do the scheduled services. Like every 250 hours they have to change the oil, and they have to change the filters. But before every time they have to go to the machine, and they have to check that what is actually happening in their machine, and is it ready for scheduled maintenance or not. So what we did, we installed the Groove here, and we use the Raspberry Pi. So this whenever even loader changes position, it always used to send the data to the control room by using the connection with CAP APs. And once it completed its 250 hours, so through the CAPS wireless system, this loader can send data. So the beauty is that this loader, if it is roaming anywhere within the terminal, which is around, which is a big area, so the engineer no need to go here and there, and he can stop the machine over there and start the service, or also can alarm. So that was really a good project which we enjoyed, and it was a little bit challenge for us. Okay. There are many reasons to use MikroTik CAPS Manager. Why? Because it's very, very flexible. Means whatever settings you want, whatever parameters you want, you can do it very easily. It's very reliable. We have used it, and it's working very well. No additional licensing required like competitive products. It comes with free router board OS, so you don't need to buy any licensing. It's highly scalable. As much AP you want, you can. So there is no any limitation for it. It supports dual band provisioning. You can provision your APs. It works on a MAC and IP layer both, and it also support the certificates. Also support full and local data forwarding mode, radius MAC authentication, custom configuration, whatever you want. And the good thing is that you can find MikroTik hardwares anywhere in the world. It's like a spider net, so wherever you want, you can find it very easily. And the most important part, which everyone want to discuss, is the price. So yes, the price is quite low. I will tell it's enterprise level price in a enterprise level hardware in a SOHO price. So now we come to the CAPSMAN. Actually, what are the components of the CAPSMAN, and what basic things we need for to run any CAPS manager? So there are actually two components. One is CAPS manager, which is your controller, and the second one is CAP. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 100, it can be unlimited. It's up to your requirement. So CAPS manager can be installed on x86 based machine. It can be installed on any hardware. You just need the wireless CAPS manager 2 package or the latest one. For the CAP side, for the AP side, you need the hardware with the wireless interface. It should also have the wireless CM2 package to make it operate. And at least level 4 router OS license you need. So this is a simple CAPSMAN application which I would like to explain you. Like, if you have any, if you want to start any wireless setup very quickly, you can say within a day. So what do you need actually? You need one controller. As I told, there are two components of the CAPS manager system. One controller and other will be the APs, which will be your CAP, right? So first of all, I start from one building where we installed one cloud core router, and we will install the CAPS manager here, and we will associate the CAP APs to make the wireless system, and any person who is in this building, he can go up and down and he should be able to connect it with the wireless system. But what happened if the same person, because this project belongs to same organization, so what happened if the person who is living in this apartment and he want to go to the another apartment which is around 5 kilometers far from here? We can make one point-to-point links using MikroTik SXT, and we shall require the layer 2 link for to transport our controller data, and we will install some more CAP APs, whatever we required, and we can associate these APs to the cloud router. So if any person who is going to this building, he does not need to connect with this wireless SSID again. Whatever SSIDs he was getting here, whatever the password was here, he should be able to connect with it. He don't need to connect again. So that is a very good application nowadays, and anyone can start the WISP very quickly. So CAPS Manager version 2 features actually. Before there was version 1 and nowadays version 2. So it can upgrade your all APs from a single administrative control. Means if you are on a controller and you want to upgrade your APs, you can do it from a single point of location. The data connection has improved more. The name formatting has improved. They have added provision rules. They have in provision rules they have add the name format and name prefix. Logging entries has been improved, and layer 2 path MTU discovery also added. CAPS Manager version 2, if you want to run your CAPS system, so you should know about that what version you are running. You have to be sure that the version 2 has to be installed on the CAP controller and also on the AP. If you have different versions, you should not be able to communicate. So both devices should be on a same version. And if you have a CAPSMAN 2 on a controller and CAPSMAN 1 on a CAP AP, you will not be able to connect. So now we have start to the previous things which I just want to know that what is actually the CAPS Manager. Now if you want to set up it, what basic things you will require. So for the CAPS Manager, you will definitely need the CAPS Manager services to be enabled. You have to make a bridge if you want to give the internet, and if you want to do netting, run DHCP server, and then you have to make the configuration of a CAPS Manager, and you have to make a provisioning rule to what APs actually have to be configured by yourself. And after that, once you have configured the CAPS Manager, you have to enable the CAP mode on access points. And in the end, I will give you some efficient roaming tips, which will be very helpful for you. So I will explain it in the end. So just start from the CAPS Manager setup. If you have one router on which you want to make it a CAPS Manager, you have to make sure that you have a wireless CM2 package. So from system packages, you can see that you have installed the wireless CM2 and it is enabled. And then from the CAPS Manager, you have to click here on a CAPS Manager, and there is a manager button over here. You have to enable it. So once you have enabled, the CAPS Manager service will start to run. But The thing has not been stopped here. What configuration actually the AP has to be taken from the CAPS manager, you have to configure it. So this is a basic setup. You have to make a bridge for the controller, and then you have to give an IP address to the bridge, run a DHCP server on a bridge, and start to masquerade to provide the internet, to start the internet to the users. And after that, the configuration which you required to do, there are three components mainly which you have to do: channels, data path, and security configuration. You can make your customized channels here, and you can mention here. It will be in CAPS Manager channels. You will press CAPSman, and in channels you can find, you can make a channel. And for data path, that how data will flow. So you have to make the data paths, and from here you can enable the local forwarding and client to client forwarding. This I will explain you more. And client to client forwarding is actually if you want that if one customer is if you don't want that one customer talk to another customer, so you have to disable it. But if you want that any customer can communicate over the LAN, so you can enable client to client forwarding. So what we have to do first, as I told you, that we have to make these components. After you made, you have to make the configuration rule, and from configuration you will add it. And in wireless, just make it the name I have made for mum configuration. And for the mode, what we want to do for the APs, it's AP. What will be the SSID? It will be mum USA 2016 Pakistan. Choose your country, whatever you need according to your requirement. Once you have done the wireless part, you have to do the channel part. You can the channel which we have created prior from here. You can select from this menu, and if you don't want means if you want the customized setting directly here, you can write your frequency, so the settings will be override here. So this will be no more settings. So the settings which you will do from here, it will be override. It will override your parameters. So same, the data path which we have created, we can select here. And also for the security, which you always need, so you can make the security and you can mention here. So CAPSman setup, the last step, once you have made all the three component, channel, data path, and security, you made one configuration, and you put these components into your configuration. And final step, the configuration which you have made, you have to take into the provisioning rule. So in the CAPSman provisioning, you have to add provisioning rule. In Radio Mac, you define any. If you want any customized access point based settings, so you have to define the radio of that AP. But if you want whatever any AP come in your network, you just mention 00000. And in actions, you just define create dynamic enabled, and the configuration which we make in configurations here, we have to select here. So whatever wireless SSID we mentioned over there, whatever the wireless security, whatever the data path procedure, it will take from there. So all configuration will start to broadcast here. Once you will press OK, you have completed your CAPS manager. Okay, now we come to the CAPS side. How CAP to CAPS manager connection normally establish. So CAP establish always the link with the CAPS manager on layer 2 network. So you don't need to define an IP address. If you are on a layer 3 network on the other side, so you must have to define the IP address which should be routed or which should be able to communicate with the CAPSman. So then it can communicate. So how CAP can communicate with CAPS manager if you are on a layer 2 network. And so CAP will always use MAC address rather than IP address. So it will always prefer to use the MAC address rather than IP address. In IP UDP, if you want to use IP, means if you are on a remote site, so you have it use IP UDP layer 3. Okay, so the connection between the CAPS and the CAPS manager is secured using DTLS, which is datagram layer security, transport layer security, and for the client data, it is not secured actually. If you want to make it secure, you have to do additional encryption by using IPsec or any encrypted tunnels, is whatever you need. So how CAPS select the CAPS manager? CAP attempts to contact CAPSman and bind available list. A list of CAPSman IPs, list of CAPSman IPs obtained from a DHCP server, broadcasting on a configured interface using IP and MAC layer. CAPS select the CAPS manager based on some rules. If CAPS manager name setting is matched, it will prefer CAPSman earlier in the list. MAC layer connectivity to the CAPSman is preferred over IP connectivity, which I have already conveyed to you. Okay, so now the CAPS part we have already done. Now we have to do the APs for the users. So what you have to do, there are only few settings which you have to do. First, you have to make a bridge, which is quite simple. Make it a DHCP client, and then you have to enable and enable the CAPS services. You have to define interface of the AP. Certificate, it depends. If you have if you need any certificate, you can select here, and if you don't, so you keep it none. But I would always recommend you always use the certificate. Discovery interface, you have to inform that, like if on AP, if you are using a bridge interface, or if the traffic CAPSman connection with AP is on the Ether 1, you have to select Ether 1, and if you are using bridge 1, so use bridge 1. You can lock the CAPSman, like if you have in your network, you have 3 or 4 CAPS manager running, and you don't want your AP to go to see another CAPS manager. So you have to, once you have connected with your CAPSman, you just lock to the CAPSman. So if there are some new CAPS manager come on your network, so it will not allow it to connect. So once you will enable the CAPS services, and you just press OK, so you will see the managed by CAPSman. It will show you the channel which you are going to use, and also the SSIDs which are going to be start to broadcast. Okay, so make sure, as I told you before, that you are having the CAPS managers too. It's very important. The package should be the same, the version should be same which is at CAPS manager. So before I was departing from my country, I have made some screenshots for you. So what I have used, these are 3 CAP APs. So you can see here, it is showing the same, all 3 are showing the same broadcast SSID, and while they are different, like this is, it's a Groove and different hardware. So I used Groove, WAP, and Metal. Okay. So once you are connected with the CAPS manager, your CAP AP is associated with CAPSman in the radio section of the CAPS manager. In the controller, you can see here is a controller. On a radio side, you can see the remote CAPS identities from a single screen. Means you don't need to go one by one. You can see on a single screen which APs has been connected with you. So you can see their MAC addresses as well. So on a CAPS manager, what things you can see that which AP is over there. So you can identify your CAP on a CAPS manager by MAC address, IP address, router board model's name, serial number of the board, router OS version, system identity, main wireless MAC, state of the CAP, and provide radio count also it will do. So you can see here is a MAC addresses of the radios which are connected. These are the boards, like I told you that I have used WAP, Groove, and CAP, 3 different models to associate on my CAPS manager. These are the serials of that APs. What version is running actually over there, what are their identity. So I think identity should be same. I have keep this, it should be different for your identification in future. And it's what is this? It says it's running, and radios count how much interface running on it. Okay. In registration table, that how many peoples are connected with the APs. So here you can see SSID and the people who are connected, which SSID and what was the hardware name. Means interface name is the identity of your router board. So you will know that which is your hardware and which person is connected with which AP. So in registration table you can see from a single screen as well. Okay, in CAPS Manager, before there was a access list in a wireless system, but once your AP, your CAP is connected with the CAPS Manager, so there is no access list which is on CAP AP will work. It will only work through a CAPS Manager. So a CAPS Manager access list has few features which are quite good. You can do MAC-based authentication, radius query support, MAC mask support, signal range, time, private passphrase. Means if you want individual password for different APs, you can also do. And if you want multiple SSIDs on a single AP, one CAP can broadcast 32 different SSIDs at a single time. So that is quite good, and you can associate each SSID with respect to different VLANs. So does it happen sometime with you? Okay, so it's mostly happen. Even you are running a CAPSMAN system. If you are running not CAPSMAN, any centralized managed system, you will see in your at airport, you will see at hotels. They have installed the centralized system, but still they are facing this kind of problems, which is quite often. But sometimes it's irritate to everyone. Okay. So what is the reason actually? Sometime, like if I have one AP on a right side and another AP on a left side, what happen if I'm connected with that AP and I'm roaming to the another location, and when I arrive to the left side, I will still connect it to the AP which is on the right side, because signal strength is still I have some signals through which I have connected. But what happened if I have 20 MB of bandwidth? I am still connected. My user will complain, what's the problem? I'm still facing, I'm only getting 5 MB or 4 MB. While he should be able to connect with that AP. He has to connect from that AP because he is nearest over there. So in this case, what we have to do, we have to forcefully kick down our user. Like we have to define some signal strength range. If I'm connected from here and I know that at the 50% it's okay, and if it is going more than 50%, the receiving signal strength will be decreased. I cannot get the maximum throughput. So what I have to do, I have to define some rules to make it more efficient roaming. So in this presentation, I have in CAPSMAN, you can go into the access list, and in access list you can define the signal strength. Like I have set it up -60 to 120 is allowed range. If someone is going more than that, he will be disconnected. Means from -120 to -60, -61, it is denied. It is rejected. So we have to make these two rules. So it will make your controller quite efficient, and your roaming will be very, very good. So this is quite good feature in CAPSMAN. I would like to demonstrate it. Okay, my screen is not displaying right now, so I'm keeping it same. I would appreciate if I can demonstrate it, but due to some presenting issues, I'm unable to display my second screen. Okay, so this is efficient roaming. You should try it. You will like it, and this is very, very useful. These two rules are very useful, and you will require everywhere wherever you require. There also, you can also do MAC-based authentication. Means if you want to restrict some of your users for which you don't want them allowed to be connected with your APs all over the network, you have to define just one MAC address here in the access list. You have to define their MAC address, and just you have to do the reject. So from wherever he is on your network, he will not be able to connect with the Capsman. Okay. Nowadays, if you want, if you like have a Apple store and you want to facilitate your customer that if he has a Apple iPhone, he should able to be connect with his wireless system. But if he is coming with any other vendor's mobile phone, he should not be able to connect. So for this, you can also do through the access list, which is also quite interesting feature. You have to define the vendor's MAC address in the access list, and you have to allow it only by defining the MAC mask. First three are the MAC address of the vendors, and this is the MAC mask. And what I have done in action, I have accepted it. And for the others, I have rejected. So what I have to do for first, I have to define this rule, and for the second, we have to reject the other vendors. So that is our contact details. If you have any query or in future, so you can contact it by us. We have an office in Karachi and also in Lahore in Pakistan, and we have a reseller network all over the country. And this is our phone and our email address, and we always keep updated on our Facebook page. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Yes, one.
The Capsman lock to AP feature, does that lock to the IP or the MAC address?
Sorry?
Does the lock to Capsman lock to the IP address of the Caps manager or to the MAC address of the Caps manager?
It depends. How is it connected? If he has connected through a routed IP, it will lock through a IP address. And if he is connected through a MAC address, so it will show the MAC address.
Thank you. Next question.
Does Capsman work with the new wireless package, the wireless rep?
Yes, it's working. So you have to make sure you are using the wireless rep on both sides. So if you are enabling, because at a one time only one package will be enabled. So wireless rep is a latest package. So if you will enable wireless rep, CM2 will be disabled automatically.
Do you recommend using that since it's the newest?
It's quite new. I haven't tried well, but it's no problem at all. Means it's okay. Yeah.
Wireless rep is CM2 plus the repeater feature. So, and that most likely will be the main package of in future. Okay, next question.
Frequency management. I didn't see how you manage all the frequencies on there. I'm sure there's a setting in there how to do that. Do you do that per AP, or can you do that in the management router?
In which whatever you like you can do. Means as I shown you that you have to make the channels. So whatever channels you want to make in access list, you can define in the provisional. For if you want for a specific AP, you have to give its radio name, and you can select the channel whichever you require. Yes, you can do.
Do you see that on the view in the master
Sorry?
In the CAPS manager, can you see a list of frequencies of each one of those APs?
Yeah. You can
Okay,
see.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? Okay, then thank you, Shaquille.
Thank you. Enjoy the mom.